Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all of our scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. It's the Cream City crossover. The Guru, Trey Crosby III.
JT.
Happy Justin.
Yeah, everybody's happy. No Chris tonight. He's out working. But yeah, man, well, I was about to say the threesome is here, but my bad. No threesome action. Okay, see, we already starting off the rough. I'm already starting off the walls. The Bucks win it 123-100 over the Utah Jazz. Get a big time second win of the year. Second win of the year, everybody. And it started off a little shaky. Started off your first half. You didn't know how this was going to turn out. But the Bucks came in and did exactly what they were supposed to do. They handled business. You had a new starter, Andre Jackson Jr., gets into the starting lineup. Gary Trent Jr. to the bench. So Jr. for Jr. swapped there. And it looked good. The Bucks get a double-digit win, 20-point win. Got a back-to-back. On the front end of a back-to-back, got the New York Knickerbockers coming playing them tomorrow night. But so you needed this one. You absolutely needed this win. Bucks get it. And let's do it, man. Let's get into it tonight with the game recap. Giannis, 31-16, 2 assists for him. Dame Lillard, 34, 4, and 7. Those guys continue to show that that they're starting to play well together. They're starting to play off of each other, and they do it both. They do both of it, where they play off each other. Where Giannis is setting the screen, Giannis setting a double screen, Dame giving him the ball back on a give and go. All of those, you're seeing all those things happen for the Bucks. But you're also seeing a lot of. I think they do it well. I think there's a healthy amount of the your turn, my turn type of situation. And you saw that really in the second half, fourth quarter, where Dame and Giannis kind of turn it on. They're able to get their own buckets, and it looks really nice. Taurean Prince, 6 points, 4 boards. Brook Lopez, 1.5 boards, 2 assists in 32 minutes. He had 1 block. Andre Jackson Jr. filling up the stat sheet. 7 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals. He was 3 for 4 from the field, 1 from 3. A plus 19 on the night. Dame plus 27, Brook plus 19, Giannis plus 27, Taurean Prince plus 23. Gary Trent Jr., 7 minutes, 52 seconds tonight. That's all the action he got. 2 points. Bobby Portis with 19 and 6 on 7-15 shooting. He was a +2. Pat Connaughton with 3 points. AJ Green, 12 points, 4 of 6 and 4 of 6 from 3. So a good job from AJ Green. He did what he was supposed to do. On the other side of things, you had Lauri Markkanen, 8.7 boards. You had Kessler with 6 points, 8 boards. You had Kenny George with 10 points. John Collins, 11 points. Jordan Clarkson with 18. And Colin Sexton, 14 and 7. But they were no match. The Utah Jazz were no match for the Milwaukee Bucks. They get the win 123-100. And briefly, I'll just go through a part of what I saw. I talked about it for a second there. Andre Jackson Jr., 28 minutes tonight. And to me, the biggest part of Ajax getting into the lineup, one was that they made the switch, right? That, you heard before the game started that Doc was going to make the switch. He was going to change up things and put Andre Jackson Jr. to the starting lineup. And again, it did exactly what I think Doc wanted it to do, where you saw a team that was much more energized from the start. You saw a team that flew around the court. I mean, again, his energy is infectious. And Andre Jackson Jr., we talked about it before we got on the air, JT, threw the alley-oop to Giannis. Was getting steals, started the game, got his own steal, and got to the basket, got a dunk on a fast break. So you saw the fast break points. A lot of good things he spearheaded from a defensive standpoint. The most important and the most impressive thing that I saw about Andre Jackson Jr. was that he did it without fouling. Like, that was my big question for him, was how can he play 30 minutes again? Like, I know he's going to bring energy. I know he's going to run around the floor. I know he's going to, he's going to provide that spark, but can he actually stay on the floor, because he seems to foul a lot? And tonight, at least, and again, it's Utah Jazz, so take that with a grain of salt. I want to see him do it against the New York Knicks, but he stayed on the floor and was able to be very productive. You saw Dame, again, Damian Lillard just did Damian Lillard stuff. I mean, this looks like night and day different from last year. And that's why, again, folks, that is why I was so critical of Damian Lillard last year, because this is the Damian Lillard I knew existed. Like, that was the Damian Lillard I thought the Milwaukee Bucks traded for. Him and Giannis, again, did an excellent job tonight, 34 and 31 respectively. Taurean Prince was really good, but I thought, in the first half, The Utah Jazz hit some threes. I thought they were uncharacteristic. I really didn't think the defense was that bad. I thought, when I was watching for the first quarter and even for the first half, the Bucks ended the quarter only up 2, and it felt like the Bucks played much better than the score indicated. And Utah just knocked down some threes, and that was a part of it. The Bucks finished 15-35 from 3. Utah finished 17-41, but it feels like they hit all of them in the first half. I think they hit 2 threes in the second half. If that might be correct. I might be off on that. Let me know. But I really didn't think the defense was that bad. I thought they just got kind of caught up. Utah hit some threes, and really the worst part of the game in the first half was Bobby Portis coming in with Pat Connaughton, and those guys just not able to figure things out. And then, like I said, you couple that with the 3-point shot going down for Utah, and it just didn't look good to start things off. But the Bucks, again, that third quarter really ran it up, 31-16. The starters did their thing and did it again in the fourth quarter and got this one, ran away with this one in a good win. And it was you don't want to. It's November the 7th. You don't want to call anything a must win on November the 7th, but this is about as must win as you could have when you're 1-6 basketball team, and you got the New York Knicks coming up tomorrow night. Now I'll just say this again: this is why nothing is out of range for the Bucks, even though they started 1-6 or 2-6 right now. I mean, we can talk about it, but I'm when you look at the standing, when you just look at the East, man, it ain't like anybody's knocking it out the park outside of Boston and Cleveland. So I mean, everything's right there for the Bucks, and like I said, the difference between 2 and 6, you're in sixth place with one win. You're 2 games out of third place right now in the Eastern Conference. So the Bucks, everything ahead of them. Really good job tonight. This is a business-like approach. You needed to do it, needed to have it happen, and a good deal for them. That's what I saw tonight. JT, what'd you see?
Man, it was a whole lot of what you saw, but I'll say this, and we talked about this before the show. Andre Jackson Jr., if you don't watch the Bucks games, you're not impressed, right? There's nothing on the stat sheet that's going to pop out on there. It's just not. But watching this guy and watching the way he plays tonight, I love it. You talked about it a little bit earlier, the double block when Brook Lopez, and then turn around and Andre Jackson blocks Eubanks, right? And then you talk about going coast to coast where he's stealing that little dribble handoff, whatever, going down, 2-handed jam. He's just out there balling, hits the 1-3. Andre Jackson Jr. just makes plays, and I think he ups the level of intensity. And what I saw tonight was something that I don't think we've seen in the last few games. You know what I saw in that first half? The Bucks was out there running. Now, listen, these are old men, right? So you don't see them running. They was out there running. In the first half, we had 24 points off fast break. I love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely. That's the most I've seen in the first half of the Bucks game in a very, very long time. They were just out there ball being infectious. Saw Giannis get into some foul trouble tonight, but what was impressive to me though is I think he got his 4th foul at the very beginning of that third quarter there, and he stayed and was able to do it. Didn't pick up another one, throughout the rest of the quarter. Stayed in it, stayed in it till a few seconds left in that quarter, and was out there and still able to have an impact. So that was impressive to me. I was talking about Bobby for a second. In that first half, I was thinking it was a little bit shaky. I know, but for happy Justin redeemed himself in that second half. So, man, let me go ahead. And I know you're going to get into that a little bit more, too. I thought Derek Bird had another strong night. I thought A.J. Green had another strong night, another very efficient shooting night. And, again, he's another guy. This is again, why when we say Doc play the young guys, they're showing you why you have to play them. They're showing you why you have to pick it up. And I'm sure Doc's stomach was in knots because you had to play. You was playing the under 25 club. And you know what? Look at the dividends it paid for you. Look at how that energizes team. Look at how it sparked that team. Utah, you're right. Utah was like, I don't know, it was like 14 for 26. From 3, they was raining them down at that point. Second half, stalled out of gas. And then fourth quarter, what we expect to see when we see a team as talented as this Bucks team play somebody like the Jazz. Belt to ass. One more again. Belt to ass. And cheeks clapping. I ain't talking hands.
Nah, man, y'all boys hit it right on the head. I mean, if I would have saw this game a couple years ago and I saw 14 threes or 15 threes, however many Utah hit in the first half, I'd be like, all right, well, they're going to cool off. But going the way this season has gone for us, I was like, oh, crap, here we go again. We're underplaying ourselves again. But they found a way to rise through it. And I think, like you both too eloquently said, it's Ajax. He ignited this team offensively and defensively. I mean, he had Derek Bird out there getting in the stance, strapping up tonight. AJ Green played great defense tonight. You mentioned those threes got a little bit colder in the second half, and part of that goes to guys like AJ Jackson, Andre Jackson Jr., and these other dudes running out and contesting them. I think he blocked a three-pointer tonight. That's the type of effort we need to see. I mean, my guy Bobby, man, that's my dog, Mayor of the Mill, but that first half was, he's missing everything. But I like to see Bobby working through it, man. You're going to go out there, you're going to struggle. Dame is going to struggle. AJ Green, all these guys are going to struggle, but we need to work through some of these issues. So I thought he did a good job of that in the second half. One of the things that I thought that was super interesting is you mentioned, Trey, Gary Trent Jr.'s minutes. And when we went that second half, when the game was still someone in question, it was Rollins coming off the bench and not Gary Trent Jr. And I close what I saw, man. Just a great basketball game. You got to beat these guys. And what's the dude name? Yumdue? What's the dude off the bench? Umadu?
Oh, Stanley Umade. I know. Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna try to do it.
Hey, look, him too.
I thought I saw somebody in the chat. I was like, "Who's Umadu?" I'm looking at. Okay.
Yeah, that dude you stand too, bro.
Stanley.
Hey, he was that his first NBA bucket tonight?
I'm not sure if that was his first bucket, but he hit a nice shot though. It's good three in the corner.
Hey, good when he get in the stat column. That means we up by a lot.
Absolutely. It was good. I did not mention again, if you want to get at us in the Twitter at TCIIESQ, and then of course in the chat, Chris King commenting, working in comment that says best Bucks podcast in the world. You know what that is? 608 UW says pause. That's my bad. Robert Henry says, sup fellas, much needed win. Favor O says those early Bobby minutes were terrible. Where's CK again? He's at work. M3333C says, do these guys think that the Bucks have a championship ceiling? Ha 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 ha. I don't know if that was like a troll comment or what, but yeah, well, not at the moment, but the Bucks are, like I said, it's early in this season, man. Like, so we'll just keep building, keep rolling. But right now, again, you needed this win to beat the Utah Jazz. That was apparent. Like I think panic meter would have gone off, times 1,000 if you don't get that win. And again, I was not worried in the first half. Again, I didn't like some of the things I saw. I wasn't happy that Utah was hitting threes, but again, and I would have, against a better team, maybe you are questioning how this thing works out, how this thing rolls. Maybe because, man, if you can't stop the three ball, that's a problem. But again, there was no name guys they had over there knocking down threes. So I was like, there's no way they're gonna keep hitting. And I've been burned by that before. The Bucks, like, there's no way this other team's gonna keep hitting threes, and they just keep hitting them. But I was like, there's no way these boys keep hitting threes, and they didn't. So again, it was a good effort. And I was happy, man. That's the name of the game. Like Justin, I was just happy to see a win. And you have to continue this. Keep the momentum going. There's a lot of positives, man. I thought that you mentioned it that Ryan Reynolds got minutes over Gary Trent Jr. But he also, another guy who didn't get minutes, DeLon Wright zero minutes for DeLon Wright, and so Ryan Reynolds seems to have taken that spot over 100% from DeLon Wright, that second guard spot. Remember he got in the game immediately in the third quarter, got a steal. I think on Jordan Clarkson, and so he is 6'3". I wonder, because sometimes they have these non-point guard lineups out there that Doc is rolling with. If he's not gonna put DeLon Wright in, and like Pat Connaughton is the guard, the only guard that can really handle the ball out there, and I do wonder whether. And Ryan Reynolds is 6'3", Connaughton is 6'5". Derry Bird seems to have. You mentioned it, JT. In the last two games, Derry Bird has been outstanding shooting the rock. Also playing defense. We mentioned that. We talked about that last year, how good of a defender on the perimeter Derry Bird is. He was good tonight. Maybe one of our better perimeter defenders. He looked better than Gary Trent Jr. playing defense on the perimeter. I do think that he will get another opportunity. I feel like maybe even as early as tomorrow night to get some run. Because the thing, he's just so volatile. He's got to shoot. I'm not ready to give up on Gary Trent. He just got to shoot the ball better. I think his defense is okay. He's got to shoot the ball better, and we know that he can. But we'll see kind of how that plays out. But tonight, man, AJ Green showing what he's worth. And again, that's my question when I look at Pat Connaughton. I know Ryan Ross is a little bit shorter, But if he can defend at that level, why wouldn't Ryan Rollins have a spot over? Because he can handle the ball better than Pat. I think the only question is when you talk about shooting. But right now, Pat Connaughton's not. He ain't shooting the ball worth a damn. So it's like I get it. There's the threat of Pat Connaughton shooting. Maybe you don't have that same threat when you look at a Ryan Rollins. But I want to see more of him, man. I really do.
No, I 100% would agree. And this is what we've been asking for, is to move away from it. I mean, Ryan Rollins was with the Wizards before, and you saw some potential. You saw some flashes there with Ryan Rollins with the Wizards. I mean, I agree with you. I certainly think he deserves more burn, until proven otherwise. And I love it because, again, part of that youth movement, got to get the young boys out there now. We talk about Gary Trent Jr. I agree with you. I agree with Justin. And I said this before the show. Glad I didn't say this on air. But, Gary Trent Jr., we know he has more in the tank. We know he's a very talented guy. We know Gary Trent Jr. We know the relationship with Dame. We've seen his body of work, over the last X amount of years. There's no question about that. But what I was going to say, though, is if Gary Trent Jr. does not pick this thing up, then you do have to eventually think about, okay, if we got to actually start moving pieces, and I don't want to go down this road yet, but if we got to start moving pieces and we got to start putting together a package deal, all right, man, look, GTG, if you ain't helping us, look, I mean, right? If you ain't helping us, you ain't meeting the expectation. If there ain't a reason there's not a reason for us to play you out there if you're only playing 10 minutes a night, hey.
JT.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't want to go there yet because it's very early. It's very, very, very early.
We gotta have fun. We can't be trading people after a win.
Oh, of course. No, I'm not saying that, right? I'm talking about overall. But yes, no, I agree. Listen, we gonna celebrate tonight, right? We gonna celebrate tonight. We gonna celebrate this one. There's no question.
Go get that good wine out, bro. It's a win.
Stella? You got the Stella Rosé?
I'm drinking straight OJ with a little bit of pulp in that thing. Some pulp. We can't have a lot of pulp. We gotta have a little pulp in that thing.
Ooh,
you're like, I gotta have a little pulp in that, man. You gotta have a little pulp. It's too.
Wait, like, all right, guys, listen. Like, maybe I'm like, I mean, again, I ain't the oldest guy in the room, but I'm a little bit older than the youngest guy in the chat, at least. Like, what, like. When you talk about pulp in that thing, you talking about real pulp, or is that code for something, or what you talking about?
No, I'm talking about orange juice with pulp. What are you talking about?
You talking about the jar with the floaty stuff in it?
The floats,
yeah. I got you. Okay. I get what you're saying. The crazy thing about orange juice, though, real fast on a tangent is, like, what makes orange juice dope or not is really the sugar content. If it is enough sugar in that thing, boy, if it's like a Simply orange juice, you cooking, right? But if you get some orange juice and there ain't no damn sugar in it, and you get it with straight pulp, like, this is ass.
Oh yeah, you can't just put a straw in orange and keep it. I ain't gonna do it for you.
I feel like that's what we've been drinking these past 5 or 6 games before this, man. That just straight bitter orange juice, man. And Traden pulled out the Simply Orange tonight. And this is a great night, man. You got the boy Rollins running around. And look, this is the thing about Jordan Clarkson. He kills us.
Yeah.
So does Sexton. And just that defensive play, I know it's just one play, and I can't, get excited about it, but we haven't had a lot to get excited since the Philadelphia game. And you mentioned it. If he can guard the ball like that and stay in front of his man and contest shots, I'm good with it. But JT, you definitely not the youngest one in the chat, because I think I saw my son just pull up. So
I ain't the youngest. Like I said, I ain't the oldest. Right. So I mean, I feel it though. I definitely feel it. And fellas, you know what? What I like is breaking down a win much more than I like breaking down a loss.
Absolutely. And since we breaking it down, I want to ask you guys, let's move to the next topic. I want to talk about Andre Jackson Jr. When you heard that he was going to move into the starting lineup, is this more of a trend for Doc Rivers? Do you think that, and that's why I talk about, when I look at Ryan Rollins and what's going to happen next with him and how that feels, is this a trend that you think we're going to start to see with Doc Rivers wanting to play the young guys and looking forward to playing the young boys, or is this a one-off where he's just excited about Andre Jackson Jr.? Because again, I have my questions lie around what I see when I see Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez on the floor together. That's when I have a lot of questions about this basketball team. And so could this move into Tyler Smith territory, Liam Robbins territory, or because I think it kills Doc to have to do this kind of stuff. You know, he doesn't want to do it. He wants to play his veterans. But when he makes moves like this, when you see Andre Jackson Jr. starting lineup, and then you see it work. Where do you think? Does this embolden Doc even more to say, okay, man, I really got to embrace this? Because again, it was night and day from a transition standpoint, from a rebounding standpoint, from defensive energy and effort. Everything looked different about this basketball team. And again, you can say a lot of it started with Andre Jackson Jr.
So what I'll say is that I think you can have your own opinion, analysis, assessment of what went down. But the one thing that doesn't lie is the eye in the sky or the film. The film doesn't lie. You can watch this, and you and all of us, right? None of us have access to the little things hanging around, little analytics cameras that are trained on each player. Like, none of us have access to any of that stuff, but we can watch and see a palpable difference tonight. And I know that maybe we're watching and we're not looking for the exact same thing that Doc's looking for, but you could see the difference. And I think at this point, when you look at your team being 2-6, and you look at the intensity and you see how palpable this was tonight, it's undeniable that the youth are going to give you a different look that at this point looks like it's going to be to the benefit of the team. So if Doc wants to go back out there and say, we're going to keep doing what we were doing before this is one off, right? No do-rags in the facility, no earrings, you can take that old school approach if you want to, and you can go ahead and keep sliding right on back and see what 2-7 looks like, 2-8 looks like, 2-9 looks like. I think you have to play the young boys. Now, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, completely different ball game altogether. It's a different conversation, I think, when you start talking about the young boys and the bigs and stuff. But having said that, at the minimum, you got to be open. I just don't think you have a choice at this point to keep saying, no, we're gonna rest the young guys. No, we're not gonna play the young guys. No. You got to give them run because the young boys are shining right now.
Yeah, I think that Ajax, if he didn't play himself in the starting rotation, he's definitely played himself to a considerable amount of more minutes. I thought Brook had a hell of a game though, so it's tough for me to take Brook off the floor. But I get
a hell of a game. From a defensive standpoint.
Defensively, yes.
Yeah,
offensively,
defensively, like that. But that's been my thing all year, right? If you're not going to impact the game offensively, you got to show up somewhere else. And I felt like he held the paint down. He deflected those rebounds to Portis and some of those other guys the way that he supposed to. I got to give my hats off to Doc Rivers, man. We criticize his brother. We talk about him when he's not good. Yeah. And as you said in the open, Trey, he wrote the prescription tonight. I hope that this is something this is a thing, and we talked about it a couple games ago with Andy Reid, how he is able to stay where he stays because he's able to adapt to the younger culture. So this is the first step in Doc doing that. And you got to continue to get these young guys on the floor. And I understand why you want some of those veterans there too. But at this point, when the veterans were making the mistakes that they were making, you can't go wrong with the young guys because at least they can learn from them and change. That old dog, them new tricks, they're going to come somewhat. But, and lastly on the Ajax thing, man, Steve Novak, shout out to Brown Deer, Wisconsin. Brown Deer High.
I ain't shouting no damn Steve Novak.
I know, Trey.
Hey, speaking of Steve Novak tonight, hey, listen, let me say, full disclosure. Typically, when I watch the Bucks, I'm watching League Pass. If they're not on, national TV. When national TV, I usually listen to national TV broadcasts just to see what they say. But for Bucks, I always love watching. I mean, Lisa is okay, but I really enjoy Marcus Johnson. Right, he's great, one of the best in the business. Exactly. So typically, what happens when Steve Novak's on the broadcast and Marcus is taking a break, I usually I take that opportunity to listen to the opposing team's broadcast on League Pass. See, and again, sometimes I don't like it, but I'd rather listen to whatever they got to say versus listen to boring ass Steve Novak. And so tonight, this new year, I gave Steve Novak a chance. I'm like, I'm gonna listen to Steve Novak. Man, bored out of my mind. I was bored out of my mind listening to Steve Novak talk whatever, but it's just boring. It's just. I don't feel like I learned anything. He doesn't teach me anything new about the game. He's just bland and boring, and I have no appetite for it. So I gave Steve Novak an opportunity. I gave him a chance this year to start the year off right with me. And yeah, he has not gotten any better. So when we talk about trading people, put Steve Novak in the trade machine too and trade him for somebody else to commentate the damn games.
All right. So just for y'all who are new to this thing, right? Some of y'all who've been true to this thing, y'all already know. So we got active beef with a number of NBA personalities. David Aldridge is one of them, right? David Aldridge does not like Trey. He got a problem with him. Louis Riddick, who's an NFL guy, he got a problem with Trey. He don't like Trey. Well, Monty Jones, he don't like Trey. Trey and him got issues. Steve Novak. And do we put Steve Novak on the beef?
He been on trash list before. Hey, yeah, what you talking? You forgot Dario Melendez.
Dario Melendez is another one that beefs with Trey too, right? Like I'm telling y'all, we got a starting five.
He's an
of
ultimate
haters
loser.
/ people like Dario Melendez is another one. There's one more that I'm forgetting about though that you also got into it with. And y'all had a Twitter spat. I can't remember right now. But there's somebody else that you got into it. I mean, it's been a few.
Yeah, it's been a few. But anyway, I just had to let that know about Steve. I did Steve. Again, nothing personal. I mean, again, I don't personally have issues, but this wasn't personal. I just think he's boring. That's all.
Well, you know me, I'm the ultimate homer, and Novak's my guy. Deep from three, pull up from Brown Deer High School.
I'll tell you right now, Novak ain't your guy. If you can look at Novak's tweets, some of the things he's saying, Novak ain't your guy. I'm just gonna tell you, bro.
I'm a rebuttal on the thing to say that to my two lawyer friends. I'm a rebuttal on the thing to say that I did not learn anything from Novak tonight, because I did learn something from Steve. I learned the fact that Ajax is under Giannis' wing. And that tutelage is really starting to come together. And I think we saw some of that fluidity on the floor tonight. And one thing I forgot with what I saw in the game tonight, we got to give a shout out to Giannis taking down another record of most offensive rebounds from the original MJ, Marcus Johnson.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
that did happen. Yeah, that was good. And again, absolutely. Congrats to Giannis for doing that. He's going to continue to break records, no matter how many people in the media want to push him away from Milwaukee. He stays here and he does exactly what he's supposed to do. Jay Stroh says GTJ might be playing his way out of the league. Chris King says we're almost at 1,000 subs, guys. Tell a friend about the Cream City Crossover. Absolutely. If you're not following us right now, like, subscribe, all of that to the Cream City Crossover. I wanted to see one. Oh, this was something from Marvin Lee. And Marvin Lee's correct, because did you guys see this? Did you guys notice this? He says, Giannis set the tone talking to the team to start the game. Ajax responded very well, gave the energy boost the team needed. Ajax are going to continue to show up too. Did you see that at the beginning of the game, which I had not seen that before? Maybe I missed something in prior games, but I had not seen. I noticed what Marvin Lee's talking about, where at the start of the game, they got in a huddle, and Giannis kind of, I couldn't tell what he was saying, obviously, but he was very animated in the huddle. Like he was talking to Ajax, but the entire group, the starting group on the floor before the jump ball was in a huddle, and they were and Giannis was something I don't believe I've seen that before. And I thought, again, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. Like I said, who knows? Remember, they were jumping and skipping after they fired Adrian Griffin. Maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. But I thought that was interesting. And again, they did come out with the big time spark. But everybody was impressed with Andre Jackson Jr. I would assume, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. At worst case scenario, you've earned a rotational spot. But you know what? Why not trot him out there tomorrow night?
Absolutely.
Let's do it again. Let's try them out there tomorrow night. Let's do it again. And this is what you gotta have. The nice thing about this Bucks team, you got Andre Jackson Jr., you got AJ Green, you got Chris Middleton coming back, you got Gary Trent Jr. You can have some competition in that spot. You 100% can have a competition in one of them spots in the lineup where, listen, we just going to roll with the high hand. It is what it is. Maybe we got a spot that's not going to be certain, and we're going to let guys compete for it. We're going to let guys, all right, whoever's playing well, going to get it. And we're going to swap this thing out. You have an opportunity to do that. And then, your lineup goes from there. We start subbing folks in. Man, I'd love to see it. I want to see Andre Jackson start. Let's see him start another night.
He proved at UConn that he's a winner. He was a super huge part of that championship UConn Huskies team, and he showed pieces of it in his first couple of years in the NBA. And I think now you put him, and this is what we were talking about earlier in the year, put these young guys in with the top 75 of all time guys, and let's see how they look. And hey, man, look, Trey, you played football. It's tough to see your teammate going and working hard and you sitting there chilling.
Absolutely.
JT, you a track runner. You can't watch these dudes running. You sitting at home, you like, nah, I'm finna get on this 2K, dog. And I played golf. So if my homie's
Hey.
going to the golf course, I better be there to beat balls too. And that's what it is. So Ajax is elevating that level, man. He's a winner.
What do you do on the golf course?
What do you do on the golf course? Yeah.
You say you beat balls?
Oh, beat balls. Let's go to driving range.
Okay, all right. I ain't heard that one. That's golf lingo. I ain't heard that.
I ain't never heard that one
but
either,
I know that's
man.
hey, yo.
Hey,
Right.
Hey, man, my bad. I was so hyped up, I forgot to say pause. That's that HBCU Division II circuit right there.
You good. Hey, man.
You
beat them balls up at the golf course.
You got the lingo right, but just make sure that you don't forget golf. Golf's got to go somewhere in that sentence, sir. Golf's got to. You can't just say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go beat balls." Oh, hang on, right? You better put the golf before that, and the golf afterwards, right? I'm gonna beat balls at the golf course, and even then, that's a little cringeworthy.
Wow.
I'm gonna go beat golf balls. Gotcha.
I told my daddy tonight too. I was like, man, when we was losing the first half, I was like, Pops, don't watch it. It might be some bad stuff, some FCC violations, some F-bombs and stuff. I ain't realized I was gonna drop it talking about golf and some totally off the wall stuff.
You ain't got no fines, but pay your fine to the community.
Right. Put that thing on the what's the Monopoly joint? You got to put it underneath the your money or whatever. Put your little parking ticket underneath the stack of cards.
Yeah.
This
leads me to my next question. Colin Racine has a great question. He says, and this is what he says. We're talking about celebrating. We have some fun. He says, "There's nothing to celebrate. Shouldn't be in this spot. We are tied for the worst team and beat the team we were tied with." So Colin Racine is saying, "Hey, hold up, beep, back it up. Let's stop. Pause the parade here. Let's put another pause on it. Let's pause this parade." Because the Milwaukee Bucks, who did they just beat? They beat a bunch of scrubs. They beat nobody. And that's all they did. So my question to you guys, are you moved by this win against the Utah Jazz? Did this do something for you? Because we've talked on past shows. It's only 6, 7 games in, whatever. But we've talked on past shows about panic meter and where we are. And oh my God, sky's falling, all this kind of stuff. Does a win against the lowly Utah Jazz, and again, you were down at halftime to the, it wasn't like you dominated them from start to finish. This wasn't a wire-to-wire victory. There were still some questions, some holes in what we saw. Does that give you any pause? Like I said, has this propelled you when you think about the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Utah Jazz tonight? Was tonight enough to say, okay, we've turned the corner, or do you need to see more?
I mean, at the minimum, you stop the free fall,
sure,
right? At the minimum, you at the edge of the pain cave. Now you stop the free fall into the abyss and wondering how bad it gets. What tonight? I don't really care that much if it was the Jazz or not. That's not what I care because I don't care about them. I care about us as Bucks, right? I care about the what I saw from an effort perspective. What I saw from switching up the personnel. I saw a lot of things that I really liked tonight, and I think you can replicate when we play better competition. I saw the young guy. I just saw what I needed to see because what I didn't see tonight was the rinse and repeat that I had seen the last 6 nights in a row that we had played. What I saw tonight was something different. What I saw tonight was a team that looked hungry. It looked like they want to be out there. So I know they can do it. We was talking about them legs is old. They not that old, clearly. Side note, Jazz had 21 turnovers tonight. Good job to that Bucks defense.
There were a ton of deflections, ton of hands in space.
100%. And Dame had 0 turnovers. So way to protect the ball. Listen, man, whatever Dame's got in them AirPods, I bet you know what it is? Probably David Goggins. That's what he got is David Goggins in them AirPods, blaring. Whatever it is, it's working. Dame is playing at damn near MVP level right now. Really
I do want to Paul. I do want to say so. This is from Eric Neem. Gary Trent Jr. played 8 minutes first half, did not play in second half. Doc Rivers told reporters he was suffering from back spasms. So that is the the caveat as to why Gary Trent Jr. did not play in the second half.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. But the Colin Racine, man, hey man, I get it. We shouldn't be in this spot, but that's where we started this game at. It's been a long 6 games since we saw a win. So is it a parade down Wisconsin Avenue? Nah, not yet. But we excited for this. I know I am. I'm up. Like, I forgot what winning feels like. And I don't care who we beat. Like JT said, we ain't beat nobody since Philadelphia that was injured. So we got to beat somebody. And it just happened to be Utah. And hopefully this starts the habits. And the habit that we want to have in this team is winning. But we go, I think I don't even think we played bad against Cleveland, man. We just didn't close out those games strong.
Yeah.
We were in position to win those basketball games. We never want to go on a 6-game losing streak. You never want to lose at all. I mean, I want to go 82-0, but it's a start. It's a start of something. If we go out and get killed tomorrow, well, I don't know what it's the start of, but it's better than losing. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. We're talking about Giannis and his different accolades. This from Harris Stavro says Giannis Bucks franchise history: first in games played, first in minutes played, first in points, first in assists, first in blocks, first in total rebounds, first in defensive rebounds, first in offensive rebounds, first in free throws, first in triple doubles, first in field goals, first in made twos, second in steals. Giannis continues his ascension as, I think at this point, to me, he's the greatest Milwaukee Buck of all time, and he continues to add on to that legacy.
Do we know how many behind Alvin Robinson he is for that steals lead?
I'm not sure how many behind he is, but he is second at the moment.
He is the greatest Buck of all time. There's no question about that. But he is not the greatest player to ever wear a Bucks jersey, because I will die on this hill. My man Lou Alcindor, that was his name when he was here. Mama named him Lou Alcindor. Made some different decisions and changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I think that is the best basketball player to ever put on a Bucks jersey. Period. But Giannis is the greatest Buck. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I'll indulge you there. I think that's I think that's accurate. With Giannis.
Who's number 3?
Where he is. Ooh.
Who's 3 then?
Robertson.
Big
Alvin?
Oscar.
Was he here long enough?
Wasn't he? Was Oscar only here like a year or 2?
Yeah, but when was he he was in the back end when he?
Yeah, he was. But I mean, greatest to ever wear a Bucks jersey. I mean, you got Oscar. I mean, Oscar was that dude too. Oscar was that dude from the Nap. I mean,
yeah. I mean, yeah. If you were trying to
looking that up right now.
Yeah. I guess Oscar. Yeah, he probably is. You're probably looking at Oscar,
and then
Sidney
you might be able to throw Jesus Shuttlesworth in that top 10 list too.
Yeah, he's definitely top 10. He's definitely top 10.
I'm gonna go number 3 in my opinion is Marcus Johnson. When you look at the duration of time that he was there and the records that he held, just as uncanny. And I gotta correct us on one thing though. The other night when you did trivia, I said Alvin Robinson, and I was absolutely wrong. It was Quinn Buckner.
Which one for what? For what?
All-time steals leader.
It wasn't. It was steals in a game.
See?
Okay.
That's what it was. Steals in a game, and that was the question. And you were right. It was Albert. It was steals in a game, not all time.
Gotcha. So Giannis is basically 100 and so steals behind Quinn Buckner for all time.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
My bad.
Yeah.
See, and you know what that means, fellas? That means y'all need to pull up at Curly's. That's exactly what y'all need to do. That means y'all need to pull up at Curly's on trivia night, right? Why? Because if you know these facts and you have all this, yes, you could say it to when a ton of people are listening to you on air, but you know what you can also do? You can impress the folks in the room and go ahead and go to trivia night, get yourself some free tickets, right? Enjoy yourself, get yourself some beer, some wings, some cheese curds, whatever that is. Man, make sure you have a designated driver or Uber. Something, walk, jog, skateboard, whatever it is you got to do. Either way, man, y'all out there to Milwaukee. Check out your Curly's.
Yeah, there we go. JT with the ad read. It's good time in there.
I didn't think it was going there, but I just
you took it there. So I like it. I like it. Also, don't forget. Anybody know where the Bucks Knicks are playing tomorrow night?
Is it at home?
No, well, I'm asking, is it going to be televised?
Oh, let me see here.
Somebody let me know if Bucks Knicks tomorrow night is going to be televised. For some reason, I don't believe it is. I don't believe it's a national television game. But anyway, if it was, it would be $3 bottles and pints at Curly's as well. Again, like you said, JT, Wednesdays and Thursdays it's trivia. It's Bingo Wednesday, Thursday trivia at Curly's. They're giving away Bucks tickets. Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2 every Wednesday and Thursday. Like JT said, man, going down to Curly's and knock yourself out, have some fun down there doing what you do.
Get some.
Yeah, we appreciate the people, fine people over at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Bucks win tonight, man. 123-100. Beautiful win for the Milwaukee Bucks. Like I said, man, I think there was just a lot of positives that you can build on. One question I will do before and like I said, I think we're gonna try and get out of here a little early tonight because we got another one tomorrow, back to back. So I don't want to hold everybody for an hour and a half tonight. Sometimes like we do on these things, but I do want to ask you this: when you look at some negatives, what do you think about those Bobby Portis minutes? I thought he played. He had a much better second half and again the Bucks were up at that point. But his first half was pretty bad, pretty abysmal. When it was one of those things where the Bucks in the first half had runs of 11-0 and runs of 15-0 and were down in the first half. Like that was so that was rough. And again, and a lot of those times it was here comes Bobby Portis and everything went downhill.
Hang on. Let me let Justin go first on this one because I know Justin got Bobby on his debit card. Go ahead, brother. I know you did. I know you do. I know you said
Underdog.
Hey, look, man. So I will agree, man. Bobby's first half was putrid, man. Like I've been saying it all year. He's a much better basketball player than what he showed. I thought the Bobby Portis said we need to be on this Bucks team is what we saw in the second half. Much better defensive effort. Rebounds were better, and he definitely scored the ball better. Shot those threes the way he's supposed to be, man. So he gotta come on with it though, man. And I think he's gonna build off that second half, and he's gonna have a great run. And we about to get this 6 Man of the Year campaign started real quick and soon in a hurry.
We'll see. We'll see about.
Shout
we'll
out
see
to
about
Elon
that.
on the election.
Kyle and Racine said, I guess because I said we're gonna wrap earlier. He said low management is crept in the podcast, man. That's a good one. Keep going
shout out to Kyle.
on Bobby, JT.
Shout out to Kyle and Racine, man. He's a good dude. So look, I think the first half, I started to feel like with Bobby, I looked at that first half and I looked at the rest of the games that we've seen this year, and I don't want to go there. Right? Why'd you have to go there? I don't want to go there. Sometimes it feels like, give an analogy, Bobby's like that girlfriend you got, that you got love for her, but you're not in love with her, right? Because it's just not it's just not, and you see that. And I know we've talked about, well, do we move Bobby? Do we get Bobby up out the paint, right? Like, what do we do?
Bobby's a side piece?
No, I'm saying like Bobby, right? Because like the city of Milwaukee has a relationship with Bobby. That's the homie. That's the mayor. That's it. The city of Milwaukee does, and everybody
rocks right now.
And that's what I'm saying. And we like, and the reason why we like Bobby is what he's done in the past and what he's brought here. And by and large, his tenure here has been great, right? Like by and large, for the most part, there's been some tough moments. But watching this year, it felt like, man, are we falling out of love with Bobby? Right? Is Bobby the girl that we fallen out of love with? Right? Maybe she passed gas too much. Right? Maybe she used the same washcloth for 3 weeks. Right? Maybe there's some things in there. Right? Or maybe she don't use a washcloth at all. Right? Either way, you just kind of like. You get what I'm saying? Like it's the you just are literally like noticing things that you're noticing the deficiencies in the relationship, and you're like, man, I just got to move because you can't. That's what I started seeing with Bobby's. You started to see these flaws, these significant flaws that Trey's been pointing out over the years. We talk about Bobby being unplayable in the playoffs. You talk about when Bobby's not hitting shots, he is a black hole. It's absolutely terrible. Most of the time, he's not finding other ways to contribute. When he's not hitting shots, it's just frustrating. And there's moments where Bobby, call him Bobby Bad Basketball, because that's exactly what it is, right? And you just see that but the second half was a lot better. I'm not ready to give up on Bobby. I may be one of the few who's still like, no, we can make this relationship work, right? But I do wonder, at what point do you say, we need to get better, we need to move Bobby, we need to move on from this? Because I do think that when Bobby is a bit unpredictable right now. You don't know what you're going to get. And I'm hoping that it's just a 6-7 game stretch. Because there was a rough stretch last year when Bobby didn't look good. And I remember close to the All-Star break, we was all like, hey, this is looking a little bit shaky. But then after that All-Star break, Bobby came out swinging. and you saw, okay, no, he good. Make sure his Keith card still works. So I don't know, man. It's just a thought, but it's a tale of two Bobbies tonight. And I'm glad there was a tale of two Bobbies, because if it would have been just that one in that first half, we said a lot. Things would have been said a lot differently.
Yeah, I think it's just one of the things where at this point I've seen enough of a sample size where I know what Bobby brings, I know what he gives, I know what he does, and again, too much of it is bad. And again, we've talked about it already. We've talked about it before, maybe a couple throughout the past couple weeks or so, that this team is beyond. It's kind of like with Drew Holiday, where can he still be a positive? Yes. Should that be on this basketball team? I don't know. You need a lot of depth on. I think you need a team. Bobby Portis is building a team with a lot of depth, where you can take advantage of some of his skills. The Milwaukee Bucks are very top heavy, so everybody coming in has got to be able to at least defend, number one, and they got to just be able to be more well rounded. Unless they do one thing that's just extremely good, like Andre Jackson Jr., who can who does hustle, your glue hustle guy or whatever. Bobby doesn't have one. Again, it's different. It is different if he's shooting like Derry Bird from three every night. It's different, but when you're not doing that, everything else is just not up to par. And so, again, I think he's got to be more of a, I don't want to call it a luxury, but when he's more of a luxury, it's great. He's a guy that you need every single, that's when, it gets a little bit tougher. So, I tonight was one of those nights where, again, first half, not as good. Second half, when everything's rolling, it makes a little more sense, and I thought he played well. But I just wanted to know kind of where you were on that. To me, that was maybe the only, him and Pat Connaughton, maybe the only negatives at some point on the on the night. Jay Stroh says, as a Bucks fan, we have to stop killing Bobby if we want other teams to value him for potential trades. No, we don't. Let me tell you something. Ain't no GM that wants to trade for Bobby Portis listening to this and like, man, well, damn, the Bucks fans said that they can't do no. I know we can't do no enough. We don't move. They got tape just like we got tape. They watching them. So ain't nothing I can say. Hey, listen, if other GMs are listening to me tear down by Portis and that's what they making decisions on, they cook. Cause you shouldn't. There ain't no reason you listen to me to give you your ideas as to how you should run your basketball organization. I wouldn't do that at all.
Well, another thing that I would say too is that, look, there are, I think, a lot of teams that could use Bobby right now.
Sure.
Like you could send Bobby to the Siberia, the NBA in a heartbeat, and he get in there and Bobby he give you 20 a night on Charlotte, give you 20 a night on Siberia. There's no question about that. And there's probably some playoff bound teams that could use Bobby Portis, and they could use him. Look, we don't need you to move your feet. Just get in there and give us the energy, give us buckets. Get in there like 100%. It fit. There's a fit for Bobby somewhere. There's a fit for Gary Trent Jr. somewhere. They're definitely, even though he's hurt, so let me not pile on him.
I think GTJ. I'm not ready. GTJ is again. He's a jump shooter. Just he's slumping right now. But I thought his defense is. I thought he's been active.
He's hurt. That's the thing. That's why if your back's messed up, like, okay, there's only but so much you can do. That is going to impact you.
Man, with Bobby, man, I'm just gonna say this, man. First of all, I hope you young boys that broke in that man's house, get that man stuff back, man. Like, give it to your cousin, get the 40 racks, and just move on, and y'all split it up that way. That's probably more than the stuff you got it for anyway. That's terrible, man. Don't do that to the man. Bobby Portis is probably,
you don't do that.
In my lifetime, after like Ricky Pearson, and he's probably one of the biggest Bucks fan favorite dudes there is, man. I throw your boy Ersan Ilyasova in there, Andrew Bogut, guys like that, man.
PJ.
If we do got to move on from him, I just hope it works out well for him, man. Because one thing about that dude, you can say he gave us everything that
100%.
He could give us during his good times in Milwaukee. We've had low times, we've had good times, like with all of our players, man. But I really feel like Bobby can dig himself out of this hole. He can go and he can do well, man.
Yeah.
And you know what though, Bobby's the cool thing about Bobby is it's a story of, if you come to Milwaukee, you put your head down, you grind, and you show love, the fans will show you that love right back. And that loyalty is so serious, right? Like Milwaukee Bucks fans are so loyal to Bobby that we really willing to overlook a lot. Like, we're willing to overlook a ton because we just know what the nostalgia, that's what that is, man. It's just that nostalgia. You think about Bobby, and you think about that. And you think about, they call him the mayor of the city, and that's not a joke. Like, literally, people love Bobby. But on the same note, as all of y'all have learned, all relationships at some point got to come to an end.
Absolutely.
You know, you want to leave on a high note, you want to leave on a low note, because either way, you're gonna have to leave at some point.
And you see it with no, you're right. And you see it with the Milwaukee Brewers a lot, right? Those guys get to a duration in their career and they got to go on to another baseball team. But what happens about 4 or 5 years down the line? They come back, they do appearances, they sign autographs, they kiss babies, and we love them. So if we do got to move on for Bobby, and again, I'm not there, I hope it works out better for him.
Yeah, obviously hope it works out. Just like I hope again it worked out for Drew Holiday, and hopefully it works out for Mike Budenholzer. Now, of course, I don't want it to work out at the expense of the Milwaukee Bucks. But you know, I didn't have any ill will towards anybody. That like I said, I think it's worked out for Jason Kidd to that extent. You know, I think he's doing his thing in Dallas. There's a lot of guys, you know, who are saying. DiVincenzo, another guy, exactly. You know,
boy, Dante went from Milwaukee to New York City, so he went from cold. He went from extremely cold to really cold. Wasn't Dante in Golden State for a little bit too?
Yeah.
No, Sacramento.
Yeah, so Sacramento. I thought he was in Golden State. Okay, so he was back in Sacramento.
Oh, he was.
He was. Yeah,
so Dante been all over the map. I mean, he gone from Midwest to East Coast to West Coast, back to East Coast to the Midwest. Wow. Yeah, he's but yeah, no, I agree with that. You want it to work out, and you do. And what I will say though is this city gave Bobby something too. I mean, you think about Bobby Portis before he got with the Bucks, kind of turning into a bit of a journeyman. Few years here, few years there, and coming to the Bucks and just giving him the identity with Bobby with the headband. And folks was going crazy for him. He was going crazy for us. And Bobby has really been arguably a 6 Man of the Year candidate every year. Like literally just about every year he's been here. He's been a 6 man. So his identity, his player identity has changed. Hey, man, it's been a mutually beneficial relationship. I do think it's going to come to an end at some point.
What was it? Bobby goggles? Was that what it was when he had the?
Yeah, he had the Bobby bifocals.
There you go.
Well, yeah, and so somebody asked in the chat, would you rather have Bobby Portis or John Collins, who we saw at Utah tonight? Again, if you ask me what this basketball team needs, I would probably tell you it's John Collins. I would probably say it's a John Collins type over a Bobby Portis type. Just because, again, more athletic, rangy, going to rebound.
But like,
can he shoot as well as Bobby Portis? Absolutely not. Right now, anybody can shoot like Bobby Portis. But again, I'm talking about what this team, what you need: jump out the gym, defense, and you know, go get a rebound.
But is there a fit there?
I think so. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Especially.
Is there? That's just. Well, I'm not asking. I'm just saying, like hypothetically, is there a fit there? How does he play with everybody? How does he know? Because Bobby knows everybody.
I know what Bobby doing with everybody else, and it don't look good. It don't look good. So, there's a lot of times it don't look good.
So we talking about moving Ajax to the starting lineup, which is great, and I love it. Ajax isn't a walking bucket. He's a glue guy. He's an it guy.
Right.
John Collins, if you put him on the floor with Ajax, you got two dudes who cannot get their own bucket. The one thing about Bobby Buckets is when he plays Bobby Bucket basketball, he can get you a bucket. We saw that in the Indiana series. When everybody was down, it was just him and K-Mid. Before the only game he got thrown out, we ain't got to talk about that. But that other game, Bobby hooped. He hooped in the Cleveland game, too, when he had 21 and 18. And, you know, when I was on the injured reserve, low management, shout out to Kyle and Racine.
Yeah, there are moments. Yeah, there's no question. Bobby has moments. But far too often, again, I go to the same series in Indiana, and I saw it as a game. I think it was that game 5, rebound, bouncing around. Nobody get it. He there, and nothing happened. I mean, again, those are plays that, you know, I think, again, it goes without saying. I think there's pros and cons to it. But, you know, yeah, and that's on Doc Rivers. You probably shouldn't have lineups with Giannis, Collins, and Ajax in again, because you're probably gonna lose out on some offense there. But you know, again, that's where Doc Rivers has to make his money, find the right matchups for him to for him to be in, to make that advantageous to you, and that's kind of how that goes. Let's go to the Twitter and see what they're saying there. At He-Manza says, besides individual performances, I saw urgency, energy, communication, and togetherness from the team. They'll win a lot of games with that combined effort. At Porque No Gui says if the young guys contribute and Dame and Giannis maintain this flamethrower production, this team can still shake this sluggish start. Bobby and Pat need to be contributing team members either through action or trade.
Yeah, they just went missing.
Did we just Hey, TC, where you at?
Y'all can't hear me?
They going crazy in the chat till he come back about Collins can get a bucket and Collins can do this. And he might be able to, man.
What's Collins?
Yeah.
So we gotta have a so typically we got our guy, we got Danny Levin. We talk to Danny Levin about the salaries and how that would work because Danny Levin is like our guest capologist who talks about trade scenarios and stuff, and it's probably early to have him on at this point, but may not be a bad idea to have him join us for the night. He can talk about.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you back now, bro.
Back now? Oh, my bad. Go ahead. You finish the thought.
Are we live?
We never lost. I think we've been live. I just didn't know I was gone. Can you still hear me?
Hey man, I can hear you. Justin, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
Are we live right now?
Yes, we are live. I don't know. You keep asking. Yes, nothing that has not been live. I'll keep.
I expect you to say the live, but okay.
They can hear y'all in the chat too. They said.
Here's the chat. What?
Oh, okay. I don't know what's happening. Let me go back to I'll just do a couple more and we can roll. At Drew Barringer says, I hope Doc learned something tonight. At Sunk 345 says, play our young guys more. They made a big impact tonight. And then Light Seraph says, Ajax brings energy, athleticism, and a workhorse mentality that the aging starters need. AJ Green is settled in. Portis post-ups were close to nil. His shot dash come from putbacks and the three ball. Very minimal to no ISO. Giannis, Dame, synergy is surging. Okay, so Colin Ray says, so everybody in chat says we're all good. Okay, good. So this is even more so why we need to get this thing wrapped up tonight and get up out of here. So let's go to game balls tonight. Who you going with game ball?
I'm gonna let Justin beat some game balls right now. Justin, go ahead, man.
God darn it, man! Why'd I say that? Lord. Yeah, my boy Mooch, my college teammate, gonna have a ball watching this one tomorrow. Like I told you, that's a St. Augustine's conversation, not out in the public. My bad. Anyways, no pause. I'm gonna go to AJ Green, man.
Okay.
I thought he played good offensively. He played well on the defensive end, too. He did everything that we needed that guy to do. And, man, making me go first is crazy. Like, I feel a lot of pressure now. But I'm going AJ Green.
I'm going to go with the first game ball that I think he's earned on the Cream City crossover. I'm going to go with Andre Jackson Jr. tonight. Because of his presence on the floor, how he got this team out there rolling, how he got these boys out there playing hard. You've seen a lot of hustle plays. The defensive effort, the chipping in, doing what he could on offense. I think the biggest thing is when you get a shot on a team like this with a coach like Doc, who is not prone to play the young boys and who's been very, very, very slow and hesitant to do so. When you get that shot, you got to take it. And when you get that shot, you got to take advantage of it. And I think Andre Jackson Jr. took advantage of his shot tonight in extended time and went out and did everything that you could have asked him to do. And I think he did it well. So, man. Hey, bro, you sit at the starters table for dinner tonight. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Pour up a drink. Game ball goes to Andre Jackson Jr. Stack it up.
I'm gonna give a share game ball tonight.
You cut it in half.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut in half. I gotta give it to the duo of Giannis and Dame. I mean, both of them 34 and 31, respectively. 16 boards for Giannis. I probably would have gave it to Dame, but I felt like I had to throw Giannis in there just because Giannis broke Marcus Johnson's record for offensive rebounds. So again, Giannis, Dame continuing their excellence. And again, hey, maybe you guys are right when we were going around the horn on where people were and who the best guards are in the East, who the best guards are, period, who the best players are, top 50 players in the NBA, top 25, and maybe Dame should have been up there a little bit higher. Y'all might have something there on that. I think somebody in the chat said I can't find it now, but somebody in the chat said that Dame's best point guard in the East. So I can see that, and I want to make sure. So Dame and Giannis are going to split the game ball. For me, let's take a look around the NBA and the league and see what's taking place here. The Bucks beat the Jazz 123-120, improved to 2-6. The San Antonio Spurs 118-105. They get a win. The Timberwolves beat the Bulls tonight. Oh, only 3 games on tonight. So Timberwolves won 135-119. Spurs beat the Portland Trailblazers 118-105. And the Bucks get a win as well. Let me see what. Okay, Chris Paul 6 points. What did Wemby do? Wemby 12 points, 8 rebounds. Wemby has not been as good. Wemby has not been as good as I think we thought he'd be year 2 into the league. So I don't know if you call it a sophomore slump, but he hasn't. He's not bad, but he just had. I think a lot of people thought that Wemby was going to be in the running for like MVP and all those type of things. And as of right now, that's not the case at all. And then also, I don't know if you guys were watching this. The Ravens beat the Bengals tonight, 35-34. Jamar Chase 3 touchdowns and caught the what could have been the game-tying kind of touchdown late in the game there, but the Bengals decided to go for 2. Did not get the 2. Looked like there were multiple flags that could happen on a 2-point conversion. They let the refs let it play out, and the Bengals lose it 35-34 to the Baltimore Ravens. Again, I was watching a little bit of that. Wow. Jamar Chase 11 catches, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. My goodness. But yeah.
You know what? That boy, he didn't sign that long-term extension, did he?
Chase, I'm not sure. Chase
he gambling on himself. Yeah, because he held out a
gamble.
There you go.
That's a good gamble. 100%.
He might have caught that last touchdown during the middle of one of my Bobby Portis thoughts, and that completely took me off the rails of what I was going to say.
Yeah, I was watching this the whole time. That last touchdown was crazy. Anyway, there's a lot of insane plays that he had tonight.
We forgot one thing, and look around though, man. My guys was hooping tonight, man.
Who?
Bart Lundy had them boys out there in Northern Iowa. They got cooked by AJ Green home undergrad team or whatever the case, and then them Badgers put a little bit of smoke down, man. So it's a mediocre night in the state of Wisconsin, but Wisconsin basketball, we coming. Marquette, Badgers, and UW Milwaukee. 3 tournament teams here. You heard it here first. And Bobby Portis 6 man of the year. Throw that in there.
What did Oh, good. Okay, I just saw that Oklahoma State beat Wisconsin Green Bay. I want them to go defeat. I want them to lose every game. I don't like. Was it Doug Gottlieb? I want them to lose every game.
You got beef with Doug too?
Me too.
I don't have beef with him. I just think he's lame. That's all.
Okay. All right. I didn't know.
I don't like them Phoenix. I don't like nothing about a Phoenix. That's the only thing in Wisconsin I don't like. UW Green Bay. Never liked them.
Yeah, so that's how that goes. Bucks got another one tomorrow night against the New York Knicks. What are you guys expecting to see tomorrow night against the Knicks on the back-to-back? I don't have. I'll say this: I don't have any. Usually on the back-to-back, like, oh well, it's back-to-back. Tired legs, and listen. The Memphis Grizzlies beat us on the back-to-back. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat us on a back-to-back. I don't have a lot of excuses. Go out and beat the New York Knicks, period. Go out and get a win. You should be a desperate basketball team. Go out and get a win. They're not some unbeatable. If Damian Lillard goes out there and plays to the level, plays above the level of that should be a personal challenge for Damian Lillard. Go out there and thoroughly outperform Jalen Brunson. Should be a personal challenge to Damian Lillard.
You're not tired yet. You're not even 10 games into the season. Right. What do you mean back-to-back? Like, okay, it's back-to-back, but it's an early back-to-back. This ain't a back-to-back in January. It's a back-to-back in February. You don't got enough miles on them legs yet. You're not tired. I expect these boys to go out there and compete. I expect them to go out there and punch the New York Knicks in the mouth, right? I want to see them get out there and brawl. I want to see these boys get out there with the energy and everything else and get out there and get that win. Show everybody that, listen, we're the Bucks. Y'all going to come through us if y'all going to do something. That's what I would like to see ideally. Now, is that going to happen? Depends. Does Doc say, oh, this is next. I need to go back to what we were doing before, right? Or does he say, hey, I saw some good things against the Jazz. Let's try this. In worst case scenario, we'll resort to our default, but hey, let's try this. Let's see how this goes tomorrow night. I want to see Andre Jackson Jr. out there doing what he's doing tonight. I want to see AJ Green out there taking advantage of the spot. I want to see Brian Rollins out there chipping in and contributing. Hopefully, Gary Trent's back calms down. I'd love to see him out there giving us something too.
So I say the Garden is like the Mecca. It's one of the best places to play in the entire NBA. Has the nostalgia, has that. This is a big game for him. And, there's a lot of guys on that four-letter network who had a lot to say about this Bucks, from Perkins to Stephen A. Smith. And this is a good way to stick it to Stephen A. Smith, who's been hating on these Bucks all year. And, well, I can't even say hating on us because he's been talking about us for being a 1-6 basketball team, which we are. But this is a good way to send a message to them and let them know, hey, we on these bright lights in this big city of dreams, and we gonna come out and play basketball. Dame, like you said, Trey, this is Dame's opportunity to show this dude that, all y'all dudes ranked him better than me. Hold this 40 ball. Because Jalen Brunson don't play no defense either. No. And they don't have Dante DiVincenzo to slow down them guards. And they got Cat down there. They ain't Julius Randle. So I look for Giannis to go at his head too, man. We gotta go out there and show these boys we can hoop, man. Put Andre Jackson Jr. in there. Let him cook like it's a Big East championship all over again.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we want to see. We want to see a lot of that from the Bucks. I expect, like I said, I expect to see a primetime effort for the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night against the York Knicks. Last but certainly not least, do want to get any final thought. We all saw what happened on Tuesday night. First time we had an opportunity to talk about it post-election. Yeah, this is a new direction. The country spoke loudly based upon what happened on Tuesday night. Donald J. Trump, Mr. 45, Mr. 47. And yeah, it was, I say this was a couple thoughts real quick. And Alex, I'm not gonna be long at all on this. A couple things. I think that Kamala ran. I think she ran. A lot of people joke about her campaign. I don't think it was that bad. I think Hillary ran a much worse campaign than she did. But again, she was hampered by how long she had to run it. She was hampered by that. But I insert whoever you want. She was like it was clear that she was going to lose. Or whoever you want to put in there in that spot for. That person was going to. The Democrats had no answer. It was a loss. And what James Carville says is it's the economy, stupid. That even though it doesn't matter what the stock market looks like, when you go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you see those prices. I think a lot of people made their decision based upon that, and that's kind of how that went for her. But again, we'll see what happens in the next 4 years or so, starting in January, and that's that. Back at it with Donald Trump as the leading the free world.
So I'll give you guys a sports analogy here, or not a sport. Here's a life analogy, right? You know when the worst time to find out you can't fight is?
What's that?
When you're actually in a fight. That's the worst time, right? And what I mean by that is any way you look at this thing, with Democrats, with the messaging and everything else, the numbers told a story and the media told a different story, right? Like when you look at inflation coming down, you look at unemployment, you hear the media had this narrative that the economy is terrible, right? And Trump was, this economy's bad, this economy's bad, this economy's bad. But from a factual perspective, the numbers show the economy was better. The problem is people saw that they saw what their groceries cost. They saw what their gas cost. They saw what their dry cleaning cost. They saw what that happened. And so they decided, okay, yeah, this economy's terrible because it's up there, right? And Democrats, just from a messaging perspective, they really whiffed on this, right? They whiffed on that because you basically allowed the media to control that narrative, and you didn't get out and explain to people like, no, wait, hold on. This is going better. This is going better. Inflation's dropping. Yesterday your eggs are the cost. This is either way, you didn't break it down, right? You wanted to use charts and data, and you wanted people to just discern and go, oh, it's only 2%. We're good. That's not what it is. And you got outplayed at this point. You literally got outplayed at this. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I don't care who you are. Joe Biden's arrogance did put the Democrats in a bit of a hole, because why that dude dropped out 100 days before the election, didn't drop out a year or announce he wasn't running a year or two before when he was allegedly cooked, I have absolutely no idea. But one thing I'll say about Kamala is she did about as good as a job as I think anybody could have with 107 days to run this thing. I mean, I'm not going to fault her for her strategy at all. I think we underestimated the hole that she was in from the jump.
Yeah.
And they got outplayed. You just got outplayed. You can't, look, we was running the wing, we was running the power I, we was running the I formation offense. They was running the spread. They was running the read option. I mean, you can't just say pro style, baby, it's gonna work. Nah, not always. You gotta adjust. So, man, losses create soul searching in politics. Losses create change within parties. And, looks like Donald Trump is going to be our 47th president. He's going to have the Senate. He's going to have the Supreme Court. And we'll see if he gets the House too.
Yeah, man. I hope that the Bucks beat the Knicks, man. I don't really.
Justin ain't want no part of it. Nope.
I don't want no part of it. And to be honest with you, and to be honest with all the Cream City Crossover Network, I'm not even in the space to speak eloquently on it.
I got you. I understand.
I just hope I hope the best for this nation for the next 4 years, and I hope that we can do well and continue to be a great nation. But there's a lot of people out here who aren't mentally okay. Either way, so check on your people and make sure they're good.
Listen, Wednesday was rough for me. I was not happy. I am not happy now. But you know what? I'm happy to talk about these Bucks. I'm happy to get in front of all of y'all. And, listen, man, like, there's going to be some pain in January, but we're not going to be blindsided because we know it. You know what tariffs are going to do. We know what's going to happen economically. We know this stuff is going to cost money. We know that, like, we're going to be in some deep waters. We're going to see some wild stuff. The punch that hurts the most is the one you don't see coming. And if you don't see what's coming here, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, right now I think all of us are feeling it, but I think at this point, like, hey, we'll figure out how to cope.
Absolutely, everybody will figure it out, and like you said, man, everybody is going to get exactly what they asked for, and we got it. We got what we asked for in 2016, and got it with 2020. Once you got with that, we're gonna get what we asked for in 2024. So we'll see how that works out. However you feel about it, is how you feel about it. But you definitely, there's no question about it, you will get exactly what you asked for. We'll call it there. Man, good stuff. Appreciate everybody out there for listening, watching us tonight. The Cream City crossover. Derek Malice says Cream City to the moon. KM says Trump time. Chess Ready says winning time. And again, that's the whole thing, man. Everybody, all sides. That's the only thing I just don't get into. I'm not about to get. Oh man, you did this, and I can't believe everybody's got their own thing, and it is what it is. Everybody's got to vote their own interest for whatever, however you feel. But it's not a thing for me, unless you are just disrespectful. It's just not a thing for me to be all up in arms about. Because again, it all flips around. And that's how it goes. What's up?
Hey, I'm gonna throw this out here. Did you see the way Trump's lawyer was talking about Letitia James in New York? That New York AG?
I did. Yeah, I did. Watch out.
If that dude is the AG and that's the type of time they on, this is gonna be a wild 4 years.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a wild 4 years.
Everybody be out for vengeance now. There's no question about that. No question.
But talking like that though, have you ever seen an attorney talk less eloquent before in your life? You ever seen anything like, boy?
Only person is one that is bankrupt right now. My man, Rudy. Rudy looks crazy too.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, man. So yeah, we'll see how this how it all plays out. Appreciate everybody for watching us tonight. Cream City Crossover on a Thursday night. You had a big time game, Baltimore and Cincinnati. And then, the Bucks are playing the bum Jazz, and they get a 20-point win, and you guys still decided to spend a lot of your night with us over here at the Cream City Crossover, so we appreciate that 100% tenfold. Let's keep doing it. Let's do it again tomorrow night. Let's have some more fun. Again, if you have not already, please if you like what you hear, and you all right over there? If you like what you listen to tonight, please hit that like button. Follow. Yeah, there you go. Cam says, leave a like on your way out. You leaving? You're going to bed. Hit that like button. Please do it for us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you would, we'd love if we don't have it yet. If you would subscribe to the Cream City Crossover. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover. Saturday. So we'll be on tomorrow. But Saturday night. Saturday we have another RTQs. I think. What time the Badgers play Saturday?
Bye week.
I was by. Okay, the Badgers off Saturday,
okay.
so we'll have a show Saturday. All ET's accused 97.3 the game. Tomorrow morning at I believe 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. I'm doing a guest appearance on Zabe. So Steve Zabe in the morning 97.3. So listen to us there. We'll plug the show, of course, on with Zabe in the morning. That'll be fun. I haven't done a spot with Zabe yet, so that'll be fun to do with him. I know he has a lot of energy. He's a good guy. Let me think, man. That's about it. Any final words over there? As the Bucks beat the Jazz 123-100.
Hey, I like winning a lot more than I like losing. I'm just gonna tell y'all, man. Giving up is way harder than trying.
Hey, shout out to Kyle and Racine, man. You know, the only way you can start a winning streak is by winning the first one. So that's what we did tonight for you, my brother. And hopefully we see you tomorrow after a win, too. We got something to prove. We in little baby mode. It's go time now. Let's go.
Absolutely. It's go time. Man, again, appreciate everybody. I want to thank our sponsors tonight. The Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Please go there, get your stuff. King says, great show. We appreciate you. Appreciate again everybody listening. Let me see. I think that's about it, man. That's it. The Bucks win at 123-100 from the Guru Trey Craw. Hold on. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trey Crosby III.
JT.
Happy Justin.
Hey, man, if I am your enemy, it's only because I dare.